And welcome to the AEW Dynamite Preview. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture, joined by Here to look ahead to tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. We do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review AEW Dynamite, but also AEW Collision, Raw, SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. Pay-per-views, premium live events with interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week complete with a pretty good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Michael Hamflett to look ahead to AEW Dynamite tonight and the road to AEW Revolution.
Yeah, we can say what we like at this point because people will have switched off having heard you throw to me and not to Sidgwick.
Yeah.
And decided whether or not they want to listen to this specific type of AEW preview. But I'm going to be almost as positive as Sidge probably would be too, because I can remember one stinker from AEW in 2025. And outside of that, whilst I've been cautious with my praise, of all bar one program, which I genuinely think might be my favourite thing across both companies right now, and it's happening in AEW, I'm surprised too. Like, Dynamite has been so consistently very good that even though I'm slightly unmoved by a lot of the stuff advertised, I sense on the night the whole will be greater than the sum of its parts.
Yeah, I missed last week's Dynamite review thanks to MOT problems, basically.
Yeah. God, was that only last week?
Yeah. So I didn't get to talk about the utterly pointless main event that they had and the absolute car crash of a women's confrontation with Thunder Rosa and Megan Bayne.
We talked about that on just to sort of follow up on that, because there's none as of right now on this Dynamite at least. We talked about it on the news today because Fightful Select came through with a story that said that like there was conversation backstage after the fact, but there's no afters. The four are happy to work with each other.
Okay.
The miscommunication was apparently between the producers and the wrestlers rather than the wrestlers themselves in the ring.
Well, that's difficult. If someone comes at you with a chair and you're not going to be getting hit with it, leave.
Yeah. Yes. But what I took from that kind of like summing up, I guess, from Sean Ross Sapp or Fight for Select, whoever did the reporting on it.
Sloppy shop?
No, quite the opposite, in fact. Oppie shop, which is short for opposites. The fact that it was all dealt with there and then, rather than, I don't know, letting like loads of ill feeling to fester, being left to fester for months and months and months on end until there's like a massive blow up and nobody gets along.
Yeah.
It's probably not great for business historically within AEW. So it does seem like it's been addressed right out the gate and everything has been taken care of. So yes, outside of that, what was the thing you flagged up? Oh yeah, the utterly pointless main event. You're not wrong.
More on that tonight.
Good Dynamite. Yeah, I cannot wait till this Revolution main event build is over. Cannot wait. I cannot wait. It's boring now. Like it is, isn't it? It's boring now talking about the Death Riders being boring.
I haven't even made a note to talk about the Death Riders on my notes tonight.
No, because you know they're going to be there. They're always there.
Yeah.
Like, you know they're going to be there. Cope's going to growl or whatever. Mox is going to sell the threat of Cope doing his one by one thing.
Took out Pac on Collision.
So he's doing it.
2 concertos.
So that it's down to him and Mox at the pay-per-view. Which
is what, a week and a half away?
Yeah. So it's best get a move on.
I was going to say, if you're going to take them all out, you're going to have to do one tonight.
Yeah,
one on
another
Saturday,
one on Collision, yeah. He can do it, and he probably will. And what this has done is, for better and worse, because I think I'm seeing different arguments for and against this, for better and worse, it's cleared the way for more people, myself included. I think I offered Sidge, I forget what we called it, Greg's or Quit, or Double or Greg's, or something like that. But because I've lost the bet of Mox and Cope getting to Revolution, because I never imagined they'd be stupid enough to drag this all out for basically 2 months. Because I've lost that bet, I've offered him Double or Greg's or Quit, where if I've offered him that John Moxley won't leave Revolution with a title. As a Greg's or Quit. It might have been steak bake, pasty or quits. I can't remember. But you get it.
Raising the steak bakes.
So we did say that. We did say that.
We're effing.
So yeah, I am becoming increasingly convinced that John Moxley will not leave Revolution with the title.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm bargaining because I'm enjoying the rest of AEW so much. I would just like that little mess to get.
I'll take anyone at this point.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. But Cope winning only to lose to Christian on that night with all the other Death Riders taken care of. And because last week, they carried on this story of Marina Shafir constantly getting in Willow Nightingale's face. She had yet another promo broken up by the Death Riders, basically commandeering the camera and Marina decking her. So if it's down, because Cope's not going to take out Marina Shafir, but if it's down to those two, then you then have Willow set up as the person that on the night is going to take out Marina Shafir as a favour for Cope. So he might get it to one-on-one, or he'll get it to one-on-one, and then Moxley will beat him because he's harder and better and funnier.
Anyway, speaking of titles, it is the Revolution International Championship Series tonight, which is the International Championship being on the line, and then the winner of that going on to Revolution to face Kenny Omega, who's the number one contender.
Yeah.
Which is obviously going to be Takeshita, as much as I like Orange Cassidy.
Why is everybody taking the piss out of this? When has wrestling not had champions line up to try and face the challenger? That's every major title match. That's how they're always arranged. You put 30 champions in. Only one can win at the Royal Rumble, and then they line up, and then they pick their challenger for WrestleMania. That's always how it's gone. I don't see what's so funny about this. No, it's so weird. It's so weird.
But people, I looked on the Wikipedia about 2 weeks ago for Revolution. They were like, Kenny Omega versus Takeshita, obviously.
Well, or has it been so obviously set up to fool you? And might it be, maybe I'm too WrestleMania brained at the moment, but could it be a three-way that features Orange Cassidy?
Maybe.
They had at Double or Nothing 2021, one of the better three-ways maybe ever. And the way they built it was, because they had the rankings, and the rankings were great, but it was Orange Cassidy, Pac, and Kenny Omega for the title back then. What if, with memories of that, this is their way to sort of shoehorn Orange Cassidy back into the picture in a big way? Because the win was kind of an upset last week for Orange Cassidy to just be back and then immediately back in the mix. What if they're not just thinking as obvious as Omega and Takeshita? What if they're thinking three-way and somehow Cassidy sort of gets in there as well? Because Takeshita and Omega is the match, but then if it's the match and Kenny Omega laid out the challenge in Australia, why did we have this series instead? I
suppose in theory, yeah, because long term we've all said that they are obviously heading to Texas for Omega versus Okada. Mm-hmm. So you might need a third person in there. A, if you want to just stretch this feud out a bit longer, or B, if you want to be like, right, well, don't want to give a definitive result in Takeshita versus Omega on next Sunday.
So you could have Takeshita beat Orange Cassidy in the three-way, and the Omega thing is still there, because you've then got Dynasty in April.
Of course.
Which could then be Omega Takeshita. And you've kind of then managed to almost gradually return Omega to where he was in the Gabe Kidd match by saving the very, very big singles match for that one more pay-per-view cycle, because people have seen glimpses of it in the three-way. I just, if you were going to have all of this play out the way it has, other than the obvious question of why just not give people Takeshita Omega, because that's what you said you were going to do, the belt being held up between Cassidy and Takeshita gets Cassidy over, even if he ends up losing the eventual three-way.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe that's something that's what's hiding beneath this weird mini tournament that they've created seemingly for no reason.
Yeah, and there's another match on this show where Don Callis has had his involvement in it, placing a bounty on Will Ospreay's head. So he could be like, if that goes wrong...
I don't even like coconuts, bruv.
Goes wrong earlier on in the night, he could be like, right, bollocks to this.
You'd love a bounty placed on your head, wouldn't you? Oh, all right then. Sophie's Choice.
Right.
I take this hand and I sellotape 5 bounties to it, fun size one on the thumb size, 5 bounties, and then I slap you across the back of the head with it.
Right.
With the bounty hand. But there's bounty everywhere.
So I could just scramble and pick up bounty.
Correct. You love bounty.
Right. I could just go and buy a bounty.
Yeah, or you could eat 5 that have been sellotaped to my hand, slapping you in the back of the head in the thing you hate. So which is it?
I like bounty, but not that much.
5 free bounties. And all I
suppose the good thing is because they're all...
They're kind of padded.
Well, it's not a single bar, is it? It's never a single bar. It's 2 mini bars.
Do you only get Mountie duos? Mounties? That's a wrestler. That's how my brain works. Do you only get bounty duos now? You can't get regular, just a shoot
You don't get like a Mars bar size bounty. No, I don't think so. Not where I'm buying them from.
I wonder why that is. Because Mars and Snickers...
Then you finish your first one, you're like, oh, God, I'm really sad I finished my bounty. Wait a second bounty.
Well, I don't understand how 2 chocolate bars works. I've been living that life for too long. But, I just assumed you could get...
like a coconut Twix, but, chunky.
Chunky coconut Twix. What would... If you could make a dream confectionery hand
Okay,
so you've
so
got
one on
5
each.
bars and then the share bag for the palm.
What?
Share
Bag
bag.
of Skittles Chewies for the palm.
Skittles, see, I'm going Maltesers for the palm.
Okay.
You're having Skittles Chewies. One is the thumb is a celebration, or a miniature hero, or a rose.
Make that the bounty then.
Quality Street. Bounty from the heroes, yeah. So you got the, what did you say was the hand?
Skittles Chewies.
Skittles Chewies, bounty.
Yeah.
What are you having? Index finger.
Does it have to be from Miniature Hero / Celebration?
No, we're in full bar territory now. I'm just saying because the thumb's small.
Double decker.
Double deck for the index finger, middle finger, swearing finger.
Swearing finger. What's the most offensive? Maybe like a Whisper Gold because it's a classic insult.
Good. I like that, yeah.
Whisper Gold.
I love Whisper Golds as well.
I'm glad to see you haven't gone off the rails now, Such isn't here to talk about AEW.
I was thinking there, like, I couldn't decide if you were just like naming your favourite sweets or you were trying to make them make sense with the context of if they replaced your fingers and palm.
Ring finger. So I'm married to this choice.
Good. Already good.
What's my go-to?
I think my Whisper Gold, even though my ring is silver, I think my Whisper Gold would go
Yeah,
right down.
I've messed that up, haven't I?
Nope. Of course you haven't. There's always a second opportunity when you eat a twirl. I'm putting a twirl there.
Yeah.
Because I'm married to the twirl over the flake, and I always will be. Less mess. It's like a flake, but neat.
If I pick Twix, does it have to be 2 fingers?
Oh, well, I've picked twirl, so I've got to let you have the Twix. You're married to the Twix.
Yeah, but I'm willing to cheat.
on the second bar, but it's identical to the first one, so you might as well have just stayed with the first.
What else is a real go-to for me?
I'm putting a Snickers on my index finger, you know.
Oh, no, I don't want...
They're now forever together, me and that. Like,
Snickers.
I've like stayed loyal.
It's a battle for my little finger between a Yorkie and a Milky Bar.
Really?
Yeah, or like a cream egg. Cream egg for my little finger.
Come on, we haven't done bollocks and dick yet. Save the cream egg.
There's no York chocolate fingers. What about chocolate finger?
Chocolate finger! How did we overlook chocolate finger? We are so stupid. We haven't taken this seriously at all. How was chocolate fingers not first?
Nicholas, you're wiser on these sorts of things. What are you going for?
No, we've already spent too much time on this for our Dynamite preview.
I'm
not taking that flack. I've already got to do the notes. You can do the chocolate talk.
Can I have crisps on the palm instead of Maltesers?
What about that chocolate?
On the left hand.
What about the Reese's Pieces with the crisps in that we found in America?
Yes, that's a nice compromise. Bueno.
No.
Didn't think about Bueno. Bueno, little finger.
Yeah.
Like, a bit crispy, a bit soft, a bit delicate.
I really hate myself for contributing to this, but I can't believe you haven't said Butterfinger yet.
Ooh.
Butterfinger.
It's like your whole bit. You did
Yeah.
a whole bit on it that nearly killed me.
Guess what? That's coming back in April, baby.
He's done a sequel as well. What was it last week? He sequeled my ass.
There was a good deal on Tesco for the old club card deal for a packet of this chocolate bar, and I waited. I bided my time. I waited for my moment, and I wandered over to Michael Hamflett's desk, and oh bloody hell, it slipped out of my fingers. So I said, "Oh God, I've dropped my chocolate bar. I'm gonna have to pick it up." And it was a penguin.
Let us know in the
So good
comments
stuff.
below what you would have as a confectionery or crisp for your palm
Yeah.
and then bars for your fingers. Based on the position of your finger or just your favourite chocolate bars.
Does a penguin even count as a chocolate bar?
It's like a
biscuit, isn't it?
biscuit, innit? I think anything that's like kids' lunchbox sized would be biscuit.
Not dunking that in your tea, though, are you?
Some people would. Some people would dunk a Twix, and you'd use a Twix as a tea straw, don't you?
Well, I use a chocolate finger, traditional chocolate finger. By each end off.
You can do that with
That's
Twix
a
as
dream.
well. Twix and a twirl.
Yeah.
You've just
That's a Julia Donaldson book, I think. Twix and a twirl.
ignored the Kit Kat there as well. That feels a bit
Oh
harsh.
yeah.
I'd never, I like a Kit Kat Chunky, but like it never, like Kit Kat Chunky is probably like my wife's Champions League level chocolate. It's never my first, second, third. Well, it's none of the fingers or the palm.
You know.
And that's
Imagine
how
the size of that as a finger as well. A Kit Kat Chunky for a finger.
Imagine those.
Oh yeah, Andre the
I was
Giant.
just going to say, could you imagine Andre the Giants? You'd have like those yards of chocolate for each one.
Do you reckon if he bought 4 Kit Kat Chunkies and held them, it'd be like I was just having a regular Kit Kat
Yeah.
from afar? So where are you going?
4-finger Kit Kat and then a regular Kit Kat for your thumb.
You going to Takeshita or Orange Cassidy then?
I'll go in a bit of a twist. Terry's chocolate Orange Cassidy. No, I won't. It's got to be Takeshita. I just feel like there's more to it. Some
Okay.
screws occurring here, but Takeshita to win.
One of my highlights from catching up on last week's show that I didn't get to mention was MJF gozzing on Hangman Page, of course. They had a nice back and forth, really fun sort of covering the history and why I'm different from you. And I thought, well, obviously, because you can kind of go into business for yourself, put the company at risk. Hangman, that's probably the difference I'd point out most importantly. But he said he was real and all that. He's in action tonight. MJF is set to appear. How do you think Page is going to react to the tour that he got?
MJF, that was a lot. MJF's in action.
No, Hangman Page to compete. So
Hangman Page
kick some poor bastards' ass.
I was thinking that felt like, because I've seen the graphic, but I must have misread it. I was thinking, oh God, that MJF in the squash seems like an even bigger throwback to the other classic MJF character stuff he's doing at the moment. Look, all joking aside, such as your joke about Hangman Page, because the chocolate stuff was serious. The Hangman Page MJF story at present is my favourite thing across all that we cover.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Like the segment last week just managed to zero in on something that I've been feeling about these two and AEW at large all year, which is this far better version of the 2024 soul of AEW story that just wouldn't go away. It's this, that the company has lived and breathed long enough that it's kind of left all these marks on these two men. And, 5+ years in, nearly 6 years in for both of them from that Double or Nothing promo where Brett was in the ring with a belt, and it's like, it's all, this world is being created and it's there for you two for the taking. And now 6 years on, what did you take, but what has it taken from you? There's a really great big picture story over the top of just the fact that these two men want to fight. And it's sort of perfect AEW. It's classic era, Sidge's 2020, my 2021. Just this feeling between the two men that everything has got an additional layer to it. Every little barb, every little swipe they're throwing at each other. They have, for the first time, made sense of both guys' slightly dodgy booking at times, and they've completely folded it into kayfabe. The fact that Hangman Page, both as a world champion and then after the fact, would have these periods of being a little bit unfocused or forgotten about. The fact that MJF's babyface run, though Christ he worked hard at it, at various points didn't quite take or alienated people or whatever it is. They've now found a way to weave all that into this rivalry by Page, saying the quiet part loud with MJF of the people just aren't with you.
Yeah.
And then MJF has all the reason to say, well, you're wrong, there's Wembley, there's this. And again, they don't need to say the stuff, but MJF is kind of resorting to Miz Wikipedia backing of himself, and Hangman Page simply has to remind him that he's real and he's the one that they care about. And these acts that he's committed over this past couple of years can't necessarily be forgotten, but they'll always be forgiven because he's Hangman Page. And the MJF we knew and loved will be eaten up by that. It'll be add yet another, again, layer to this character that got fleshed out for the first time in the Cody story and then was taken to the next level with the CM Punk story. And it's always felt real with MJF.
Yeah.
And then the few times that it maybe didn't, or the few times where it just wasn't as convinced as they would have liked, this Hangman Page program has immediately legitimized it. It has made sense of their entire 6 years, the last 6 years they've had. And it's going to come to a head for a match that feels way bigger than the world title match, by the way. But it feels like just about the biggest match that AEW can promote on pay-per-view because it's the two intrinsically AEW guys coming together in this, again, this unspoken idea that whoever wins is the next in line, is the best. They don't need to call it a number one contenders match. They don't need to say, well, whoever wins this is the best wrestler in AEW. But that can be the sort of the hidden stakes of all of this. MJF could cheat to win, and then it could bring out this feeling within Hangman Page of, oh God, I wanted so hard to not get dark and horrible and keep drinking blood and setting fire to houses. But he screwed me and I'm going to have to do some real bad. Or Hangman Page gets the win and it's this yet more conclusive proof to MJF if you're just not these people's guy. You're just not the main character, which has always been this tag that has hung around Hangman Page's neck and everything like that. It's been so elegant, and the elegance in general has been missing out of AEW, and I love so much that it's come together for two characters that are so in the DNA of this company. And I just want more of it tonight, truthfully. I don't necessarily need another face-off, because then you have to start coming up with excuses to stop them just killing each other. Perhaps MJF has spied an opportunity and thinks the best thing I can do here is cause this man to lose his head, because he kind of got in mine last week, and he just thinks, well, Swerve these days would probably back down. I'll double down, and then I'll go to his new house, and we'll see how he feels about that, you know. And I won't stand over his cot. I'm not a monster. I will be awful to his wife. That's the kind of monster I am, or whatever it is, you know. And it's just like, this is what sent Hangman spiraling last time. I wonder if I can get him with 2 weeks to go, or something like that.
I get that. I don't think they will do that because of how heavily it's featured in the KO Sammy stuff recently. And people would just jump all over that. I'm not saying he's
going to try and shag her.
No, I'm just saying going to family houses right now.
Yeah, good point,
I know it's all been done before, but you know what I mean?
Yep.
But I do see, this whole... They've advertised two different things, MJF to appear and Hangman Page to compete. I don't think that they're going to be on two separate moments on this show. I sense that, you know...
Max on the screen after Hanger's got the win against somebody,
Or, best of all, in my opinion, MJF on commentary.
Oh, again... Like, you're throwing back to, like, vintage MJF, aren't you? Because he would always do that, and he would always be there to just, like, going two-footed on the guy when they can't hear him and do anything about it. Yeah, I love that. All right, get him out there on commentary.
It's whoever gets handed poor Hangman is going to get wrecked. A bit like the other week when it was just like, I think MJF kicked this poor bastard out of the ring and then left, and Hangman Page was like, right, now I'll kill you.
Or... if he's not at commentary, or if he is, and then he mysteriously leaves midway through Hangman Page's match. Hangman's won the match, and again, and Hangman's such a great wrestling actor that there's this idea that all the evil is actually starting to escape, because he's always close to MJF, and MJF commands all of the true evil, and it's Hangman Page, maybe like he makes a little adjustment to his facial hair, his gear, his hair, or whatever. There's just that sense that like the real Page is starting to escape out, and then he doesn't go to his house, or he doesn't threaten his wife and kid, but he bloodies up Christopher Daniels. And he's just like, you just see backstage and he's just holding his head up or something, and Daniels has just been left for dead.
Or in a sort of accordance with what's happened with Daniels and Hangman Page, what if Hangman Page is just fitting, obviously, from what happened to Max, with Max last week, and he's storming about, and they're like, wait there, Mr. Page, you can't go out right now, because Max is just about to go out and cut his promo. He's like, what? And he gloms him from behind and beats the crap out of him. But it's Max Caster, the best wrestler alive, who's already got his problems with Hangperson Page.
That's a good... He keeps mentioning him, despite the fact he's already had his ass kicking off him in his weird challenge.
MJF can just be like, see, you're just a...
There's funny lore about, like, MJF using Max Caster as a scapegoat when they used to be that, like, I love you, Max, I love you, like, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. I got a finish for Revolution. Do you want it?
Yes.
You know, they've been talking about...
I know you're excited to review it the day after.
Oh, no, it's teacher training day for my eldest. We're going to go to the cinema.
What are you going to go see?
SmackDown, probably. It's a Monday. No, I don't know. We will be going to the cinema now. I've got to keep them entertained for the day. There's a Harry Potter-themed crazy golf course that's opened up near us. And he's not even really big into Harry Potter, but, like, crazy golf's crazy golf, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, like, the idea that, the golf clubs are the magic wands or whatever. Be all right with it.
The magic wands, yes.
Yeah. You know, do they call them magic wands in Harry Potter stuff?
Yeah, it's like the elder wand, isn't there?
Is that right?
Big fancy one.
I wasn't thinking like they're black with the two white ends. Just like tap. The spot I've got, because they've been talking about the Dynamite Diamond Ring, and that, if you remember, was the original rivalry between these two. Was Max won the first Dynamite Diamond Ring, and he's held it ever since, and it's always been his secret weapon. And Hangman Page, I think the ring is going to come into play in the match, and Hangman is going to consider using it, but he's going to cast it aside because he's trying to do it the right way. He's like, can Hangman Page be the good guy? He sure is trying. It wouldn't hurt to borrow from the best, would it? So the ring gets cast aside or whatever, and then a referee's been knocked down. So who cares about the details? MJF's crawling over to the ropes. Hangman Page looks like he's going to pull him back, and then you just see, zoom in tight, a hand pushes the ring to MJF to use, and it's Wardlow.
We keep booking Wardlow to come back.
I still think it's going to happen. I really do. It's part of the vintage MJF, return to the good old days MJF. I don't know if Wardlow's even going to be in AEW for much longer.
Yeah.
If there was ever a time to bring him back, while they're back to doing old MJF stuff and old ring stuff, I feel like the ring has featured a little bit on the peripheries for a reason, and I think it's going to factor in on the night in some capacity.
Harry Potter.
That's really good. Like, you're so talented. They call the I can't remember the name of the actual course. What is it? It's not as good as Harry Potter. But then I suppose it's because they're worried about trademark infringements and serious lawsuits from the J.K. Rowling estate. What's it called? Hole in the Wand. No, Hole in Wand. I've done a Brett there. I've added it there, like the SummerSlam. Hole in Wand. Harry Potter is better.
Harry Potter. I realised, by the way, in all of our chocolate chat,
New feature.
I'll ask Sidge tomorrow. He's back, don't worry, to review Dynamite.
Well, no, like, fair's fair. Like, at some point, sorry, can I just stop you there? Can you give me snack/sweets/crisps, palm and chocolate fingers?
Yeah. We didn't actually talk about what happens in the Will Ospreay Bryan Keith bounty match.
Who cares? Will Ospreay beats him, so what? Like, so what? Come on. Like, Will Ospreay, it's going to be really good because Will Ospreay is incapable of bad matches. He's fighting Carl Fletcher in a cage. That's going to be like great. Like the ceiling for a Will Ospreay Carl Fletcher cage match is like sort of higher than most other matches that you could book in AEW at present. But like TV matches to get to Will Ospreay matches are the most fun inevitability. Like, you have to watch him beat some guys. The quality is going to be better than your average. He never tanks it. But who cares? Like, it's not like Bryan Keith's picking up the win and it's going to somehow overlap with whatever nonsense Jericho's up to on any given week.
Well, I do think this is bigger picture stuff. I think this is going to be hopefully the beginning of the end of the Learning Tree faction, because I sense better things for Bryan Keith and Big Bill once that happens, because Big Bill lost the big match, obviously, with Powerhouse Hobbs last week, and he didn't really get beat. He just got tangled so much in barbed wire he couldn't stand up.
Yeah.
Bryan Keith, this would be the second bounty he's failed to collect after, I think, the one they put on maybe Bandido. And then
a lot of chocolate in AEW catering, isn't there?
And Jericho was like, "That's cool. It's a cool dual spot. I'll take that. Thank you very much." I put some crap sound effects to it as well.
Did you watch Dynamite last week?
Yes.
The other reason I think it's worth speculating that the Learning Tree might be done is Chris Jericho cut a promo that basically made it sound like the Learning Tree was done. He just dropped his "Hi guys" voice completely, and he just started talking about people need to respect that I'm a goddamn legend.
Did he call himself Chris Funkin' Jericho as well? Has he got a new...
He just says stuff, doesn't he?
He's got a new T-shirt coming out. Like, yeah, a bit off the Learning Tree merch.
Yeah, I think they're done because he's just deciding that they're done.
It's a fun match with Bandido.
He's like a slightly more competent version of The Rock, Chris Jericho.
Careful.
Like, he's aware of the direction and everybody just has to go with it. Like, The Rock, like, is sort of aware of the direction, but he might change his mind. The pair of them deserve each other. Set their own company up and they can just main event against each other every week.
Don't put those two together, okay?
All right, sorry.
Let's not forget what happened last year. Compare the twos, 2024s, and then we'll...
All right. Yeah, right, you're right. You might it's Elimination Chamber this weekend. He might lock in. That's fair.
Wants his soul.
Sorry, people hate us doing WWE stuff on an AEW podcast. Let's get back to crisp sweets or chocolate palm and chocolate fingers fans.
I would like the idea of Bryan Keith going, "Let's do the dual spot," and him just getting hit with a hidden blade as he tries to walk back to the corner.
Do a dual spot, but he hits him with a glove. But the glove is loaded with like minstrels or revels or something.
Yes.
It's a Russian roulette with revels.
Revolution.
Revolution! Put that stipulation on the Cope Moxley match and it saves the show. Like, they don't fight. I'll fight you, Max. I've gone through fire. I'll go through hell. I'll risk getting a coffee revel.
You're a degenerate. You can't even stomach the orange revel.
Last week on the Dynamite review, Edge said, like, Cope said, "If you got the balls, if you got the nuts." So we went through we Googled like synonyms for your bollocks and like just went through all of them. So just did like, got some ghoulies, got some plums, we did all of them.
Berries.
Got some cream eggs. You ever had those, the ones that come out at Christmas, the chocolate, they're called chocolate puddings, or puds maybe. Got the puds.
They are called puds.
You got the puds, Mux. They're cream eggs, but obviously like the brown.
I can hear him timing back to the chocolate chat.
Christmas puddings, but inside is just it's more chocolate. It's chocolate all the way down.
I'll tell you what, I'm not...
Because it's like the cream egg texture.
Because I'm a big lint guy. Can I have lint on my hand?
Yes.
Lint finger.
Your lint finger just touched it. I don't. Can you have... No, because they're bollocks. You can't.
Okay.
No, they're nipples. Cream eggs are bollocks. Lint balls can be nipples.
So we're creating a snowman.
Made out of confectionery.
Easter egg for the head.
Not, of course, obviously. Or one of them very, very expensive like M&S chocolate footballs.
Oh,
like, when
God.
Thorntons would make like ludicrous.
Sorry, so we're going to have to remortgage the house.
Like your chocolate football. Easter. I've got a posh Easter egg, biggish one. That's the head.
Yeah.
We've got lint balls for the nipples. 2 cream eggs and a crunchy.
I hate crunchy.
I don't like the branding of a crunchy. It looks like
what about a Mars? Because it's got the vein going through it already, so that just makes more sense.
cock a day helps you work, rest and play. All right, 2 cream eggs and a Mars bar. That's that taken care of. They're safe.
It's funny because mine's fun size as well.
And it ain't made of plastic.
There's no other body parts could be replaced with chocolate. I'm so sorry, Sid. Someone's going to grass us up, aren't they?
I think this is interesting. We're leading Britain's conversation.
Right. Well, you and I both know what's to come as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Dynamite. What else we got on this show? So we know currently 7 matches on AEW Revolution. That's enough for me, to be perfectly honest.
Come on, mate.
But we're going to hear from Swerve and Prince Nana tonight. Obviously, Ricochet, you sense there's going to be a match made for Revolution after I did like Ricochet's threat to Nana last week. Take it then.
Oh, God, it was so great. This is brilliant as well. AEW's really good. Like, I'm sick of these bad faith podcasters just coming up with reasons to criticize it or talk about snacks instead. Like, this is such strong stuff. Swerve and Ricochet have built up the hatred.
Yeah.
Ricochet's character is fully formed as this sinister little bastard who needs the kicking that Swerve's going to give him and yet might still eke out the win.
Yeah.
He's got that savvy about him now as well. He's cruel. He's horrible to Prince Nana. The threat of that, let alone him wearing the jacket, but what he might do with it, the robe. Like, it's not just about owning it and wearing it out to the ring and mocking. So this is, it's funny, right? Because I seem to recall last year saying that, like, it's not about the actual literal object. It's about what the object represents. And I ate a lot of shit for that, Wilbourn.
Yeah.
But here we are again, and it turns out that it can be good. Randomly, I don't know. Almost like it can be like a central point of a story and, like, you can actually buy into it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just asking questions. But this robe that Ricochet seemingly wants and enjoys is only good until Swerve is like, you're not under my skin with it anymore. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to take it back. So then does he go to destroy it? Like the scissors from a few weeks ago feel like they were introduced, considering how well all of this has been plotted, feels like those scissors specifically were introduced for a reason. At the time, you remember, we thought it might be something to do with the Hurt Syndicate welcoming him back in along with like Castor or Bowens, and it'd be like a nice nod to the fact that one of the split up Acclaim get into the Hurt Syndicate. Now, it feels like he's going to hang those scissors over Swerve and Nana's head with the robe, and I still maintain I think Hangman Page stops it happening. Like, destroying things such as your house, sorry about that, is kind of what gets us all into this mess.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stop Ricochet destroying something that you hold dear.
Yeah, I just assumed that Swerve gets his revenge, but if you want this as like a springboard for him to become, let's just say, TNT champion, for example, like
TNT champion.
Garcia. I genuinely had this
Bloody
thought.
hell, yeah.
I had this thought on Collision on Monday. I was like,
On this thing.
trying to remember. I was like, there's all the Mercedes stuff, and I was like, she's TBS champion. Wait a second, who's TNT champion? And it took me, he was the one I couldn't think of out of all the champions, unfortunately, and I love Garcia.
Sort of gone a bit invisible with it, hasn't he?
So he could be the one who you...
Good match.
And then Ricochet beats him, and then that's when you have the Hurt Syndicate could be like, welcome. Now he's got gold, they're suddenly interested in him.
I think they'll be babyface before long, and then have to recruit other good guys. Like maybe they're kind of like hedging their bets with Bowens because at the moment the Hurt Syndicate are getting such amazing responses that when they beat like the Monster Machines, because I'm not excited by that. It may as well.
Well, it could be the Outrunners. We've got to get past the Outrunners first.
when they fight the monster machines in a match, which like they're telling you is this like battle of the big boys, and it's not. Her Syndicate are going to cruise through them, easy peasy, piss, and they're going to get massive pops while they do.
Yeah,
there's this sort of like they've just beaten some heels, and the fans have picked them. There's a sense that you might just have to lean in and make them babyface. That removes the chance of Ricochet getting in, but it does allow someone like a Bowens or anybody else that was in their orbit before they kind of like stopped recruiting people.
is that going to get added to Revolution?
That tag title match, yeah.
So 9.
I thought that was already included.
No. Oh. Well, one of the matches we don't know who the opponent is, and I asked Sidge this last week. I'm going to ask you, and seeing as we're here,
It's time to play the game! Time to play the game! Ha 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 ha!
who faces Big Boom AJ at AEW Revolution with Big Justice in his corner? I have the AEW roster page open in front of me.
Oh, thank God. All right.
When you're ready, tell me when to stop.
We should, like, we've missed our window now. Like, he does like 5 big booms for food. We could have had like 5 big fingers for chocolate, and that's it. He's got it now. Stop.
Pick a number between 1 and 15.
15.
I think the blade is still injured.
Yeah, get well soon. Get well soon, Blade.
So I'll not use that as one
Okay,
of your skips.
thank you for that.
Still got...
Stop.
Pick a number between 1 and 15.
3.
He's a guy who loves boom. It's Adam Cole, baby.
Do I just, like, I can't, I swear him and his mates might be in action later, but I don't sense that there's anything necessarily very big on the horizon other than if they want to make a push for the
They've done the
trios
boom thing
titles.
already with them as well, haven't they?
That was a bit rather than anything serious, isn't it? Go on then, we'll twist.
Okay.
Stop.
1 to 15.
2.
John Silver.
I thought you were going to say John Cena there. I was like, a twist. Is my last. I've stuck with this
Stuck
one.
with this one.
Stop.
Okay, pick a number between 1 and 15.
Do you know what? I should have gone with John Silver because he used to be big into the whole meat scene, didn't he? And in the, it's chicken. What is it? I've forgotten the thing now.
Yeah, with the chicken
Big-
and the
big
cookies and
sadness
the
it's
chunky.
double chunk chocolate and the what's it? What is it?
Chicken bake.
That's it. Chicken bake. Thank you. It looks nice. I've still not had one, but it looks nice. 6.
6. I think Kill Switch is still
Okay.
out. So
Have one more spin.
One more go.
Stop.
Oh, you got quite the selection here. 1 to 15.
4.
Is Daniel Garcia defending the TNT
I'm
title?
losing. Well done, Big Boom AJ. You've just won yourself a belt. Like, yeah, all right.
And what noise does TNT make?
Boom! We've done that. Go take that off.
Sorry, just checking my notes here, Michael Hamflett. And there's just the one women's match on AEW Dynamite tonight.
Yeah.
And fresh off, coming so close to winning a title in Harley Cameron is now being targeted by Deonna Purrazzo. How do you see this one going?
I hope.
Happy, by the way, Sidge mentioned you, sorry, before I get your thoughts on it, about how happy you'll be to see Holly Cameron actually still being used after a big moment for her. And so,
Yeah, he's right. I love that the loss, at least for the time being, wasn't just for one great night and one great pop, because it's one thing to do the regional booking or finding the wrestlers that will get pops or get heat on certain cards. You know, like it's one of the many reasons why AEW found success in the first place, because they were doing away with years of just people getting nothing in their hometowns. And then WWE have kind of nicked that and made it part of their strategy of going all over the world. And so, you know, you get to...
should we try and be nice to people in their hometown?
You know, you run Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest in Puerto Rico.
Oh my God.
You have AJ Styles in France.
Oh my God.
And so on. You know, Drew McIntyre can't buy a win in the UK. Yeah, and on it goes. But it's good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff, right? You use the geographical situation that you've got, as long as, and this is always important and sometimes forgotten, it doesn't just feel like it was special occasion exhibition stuff. And Harley Cameron got so much more out of that one little run. Like, I have always enjoyed Harley Cameron's ability. And it's funny, I think I was right all along, and I'm never right about anything on these podcasts, but I think I was right about Harley Cameron. Remember, like, probably going back a year, 2 years, however long it's been, Remember when she'd like lose a squash every week, and I was like, she gets a little bit better every single week. Turns out that's how she applies herself to everything, because she said, I'm going to learn to be a ventriloquist, and then 6 weeks later she's cracked it. I think that happened with wrestling. Like in those defeats, she was getting a little bit better because that's her process. That's how she sort of develops this incredible new skill to stick with her other skills that she's able to build up. And now the audience are with her, no matter where you are in the world. It's Australia again next year or whenever this 2026 event is. But in the meantime, it's so important not to waste what you've built up and what you've created, because it was always going to be the Australian crowd going nuts for her at Grand Slam. It was the crowds in the build-up going nuts for her that AEW needed to keep and harness. Yeah. How high were we on that go-home promo where she stops the fun and she, like, the mask slips and she explains why, you know, I do all these things because it's the person I am. You shouldn't be scared of a ventriloquist or a singer or a rapper. You should be scared of somebody that can be this good this quickly. Like, that's the character. That's who Harley Cameron is. And she could lose this. She could find that the challenge of Deonna Purrazzo is too great. Deonna Purrazzo is too experienced.
Ty Valkyrie in their corner as well.
She's got somebody on the side. They kind of like do the bully heel kind of thing because Cameron's a babyface now. There are lots of ways for her to lose this match and continue to get over. But the mere fact this is happening, I think, bodes incredibly well for Harley Cameron. Like, ride the wave of support for her and just see how far it takes you if you're AEW. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah. I do sense, and I'm not playing Ladies' Night with no Sidge here. This is one of the most nailed on 120 to 125. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, arguably.
Definitely.
Matches.
8.5 minutes, it's 9 minutes long. Advert break in the middle.
Because I assume Cassidy Takeshita main events. Especially with Omega factoring into it.
They put the match on in the main event last week. Yeah. It's helped Orange Cassidy, I think, come back and get this kind of like immediate push back up the card after he seemed to like suffer from the Death Rider. So yeah.
One final match to look forward to tonight, and after failing to win the trios titles with the former Tupa Daniel Garcia now teams with FTR against the Undisputed Kingdom. That being, of course, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. How do you see this? How do you see this one going?
You've got a case of the giggles.
Yeah, thinking about a turtle on a skateboard, me.
Right. Okay. Yeah, happens. What do I think about this one? FTR being back on Dynamite is weird. FTR and Daniel Garcia being together out of nowhere is more interesting to me.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to tell a bit of a story here. FTR, from memory, sort of dropped what felt like a tease heel turn with the Outrunners. That just kind of went away, didn't it? And I wonder if the idea is still kicking around, but they're going to try this with another team instead. I wonder if FTR and Daniel Garcia are going to start, maybe they don't win here, but they're starting to put it together. And then Daniel Garcia will think, I might stick with you guys, actually. And that's going to hurt the feelings of Cool Hananj and Daddy Magic, who made their return as a trio and lost straight away on Collision, quite handily as well. They never stood a chance and they lost. Daniel Garcia and FTR could win here, or they could lose but run them the Undisputed Kingdom very close, and it could just give FTR that little bit sort of the fire back. And Daniel goes, let's go again. We'll go again.
Do you think Undisputed Kingdom, should get a shot at the trios titles?
I do, actually, yeah.
Sorry. Oh, bloody hell. How do you go and sort someone's on the helipad, aren't they? We've got Stacks coming in later for the NXT release.
He's never, if anything, he's never early. He's sort of historically late.
Bloody park there.
It's kind of, what?
I'm going to go and sort out the bloody helipad, haven't I?
You can't just park him on it. It'd have to be somebody with a helicopter.
Exactly. We're going to find out who's bloody done that. I'll be back. It tells you your thoughts on the Undisputed.
While you're there as well, look into how a plane lands on a helipad. That's all. Just do that as well. Just
like the X-Man.
Yeah.
Just straight down. Yeah. I'm sorry, I was thinking about playing wings, but made out of chocolate. The Undisputed, that's a bit awkward. I don't like microphone. Like the Undisputed Kingdom, I think could be credible trios challenges once the Death Rider has been brought down a peg or two. But I feel a bit awkward just talking to the camera and like having like Sidgwick not there to bounce off. What are your thoughts on this, Mike? You're gonna have to speak. You cannot just kind of like be coy on a podcast, mate. Like people do want a response out of you. I kind of expect a little bit of input and a bit of credible analysis on the Dynamite review, especially. So this is less than what.
Indubitably, it's Roderick time. Roderick Strong is here, ladies and gentlemen.
2 weeks in a row! People will begin to talk, Michael.
What about Roderick? Sorry, there's a lot to unpack here.
Indeed!
Did you say it's Roderick time?
It's Roderick time! It's my catchphrase, as you can see on
I thought the catchphrase...
my X page.
I thought the catchphrase was the word coming out of your mouth, because you're definitely
I said that at the beginning. There was the back and both out. It's indubitably, it's Roderick time.
I
know everyone was such huge fans of my appearance on the Dynamite Preview last week, for I am the whimsical Riddler Rapscallion.
Roderick, I don't wish to offend, but can I tell you 2 things that really, really make me laugh in life?
Please do.
Like puppeted animal heads where the body is human. You think of those horse masks you get, or if I may be so bold, your shoot head, which is that of a giraffe. And and glasses talking, coming out of a mask that does not move, which, if I may be so bold, is your face.
A severe case of Botox, I believe.
Got lovely cheeks.
Thank you. So do you. Anyway, I only ever appear on...
Think about Roderick Strong. You pay that man a compliment, he will return it.
I, of course, only ever appear on this podcast when my counterpart, Roderick Strong, is in action. So fear not, people who are not such huge fans of this character.
Why are you even feeding the trolls, Roderick? Why are you acknowledging the haters?
I saw the love as well in the comments, and it far exceeded the hate. And I know you boys are such fans of riddles that I thought I would bring one in for you today, Michael.
They performed objectively very weakly as a retention strategy and something that our audience enjoyed. We've got metrics.
Perhaps I can shift a few live show tickets. WhatCulture.com/tickets. Will I be in attendance? Buy a ticket and find out. Anyway.
What time to plug?
A riddle.
WhatCulture.com/tickets for the What Culture World Tour.
My giraffe appears to be touching my microphone. Down, boy. So, Michael, I have one question and one question only for you.
Sorry, Roderick, I just have a quick question. So you are, just so the people at home understand, your giraffe has a mind of its own. Is that what you're suggesting?
He has a mind of his own, does Jeffrey? Save your questions, Michael. We do not have time for them right now. For I am parked.
And I've got...
I'm parked on the helipad. So I had some hummus.
Some hummus?
Hummus.
And you can't call them that. They're sex workers. It's legitimate occupation.
I parked on the helipad and I'm worried I may get a ticket.
There's a yellow line on it.
Indeed.
It's in the shape of a H, so that means you're fine.
My plane can also land on a helipad.
Are you going to have to meet somebody? We know somebody that does that every week, flies in for our NXT coverage.
Let's not do that, shall we? Sounds like a lot of work.
So fascinated by the physiology of this giraffe situation.
Well, I have a riddle for you. It's getting rather warm in here, so I shall rush to it. Michael, what kind of a room has no doors or windows?
Nicholas?
Don't look at me.
Please, mate. I can't keep looking at that.
Stop looking at me.
It's not the padded room I was kept in before I came here, I can tell you that.
Is that the law of Roderick Strong?
Indeed.
Okay.
But you're wearing it. No, never mind. I'm trying to apply logic to this.
Can I have the setup again, please, Roderick?
What kind of a room has no doors or windows?
Right. So it's not a room. It's not like a bathroom or a living room, or he doesn't want you to. He wants you to think that, but a riddle is sending you elsewhere. A room, like a Roomba, which is one of them little mini Hoovers, isn't it? I'm going to kick myself because it's an easy one, I sense. What kind of a room has no doors? Was there any other, no doors or windows, but what?
What kind of a room has no doors or windows?
That's the whole thing. I don't know, Roderick.
Well, I can reveal, and more riddles on my X page at Roderick Strong, of course. Roderick Strong's my counterpart.
Yeah.
You follow the wrong person or something. The answer to today's riddle, what kind of a room has no doors or windows, is a mushroom. Roderick Strong away!
Didn't know he did a big.
Oh yeah,
Did a big exit like that. This is.
yeah. He's all about entrances and exits.
Yeah. He really like. There's a lot of
Will you
things.
shift it, will you? Sorry.
Oh, hello, Wilbourn.
Yeah,
All right.
the driver's just shifting it now. He said he was just waiting for someone. I don't know, just waiting for a mate or something.
The driver.
Yeah, the driver of the plane.
Yeah.
You knocked your face when you.
Huh?
When you went out to the
bloody
roof.
he has the beam.
He got you, yeah.
It hurts, yeah.
It looks it. Looks
Might have to go and get some headache medicine around midway point on the NXT review, probably at this rate.
Yeah, just whenever you need it. Yeah.
Yeah. Did I miss anything?
No. Odrick, you ever met Odrick Strong?
No, I've unfortunately not.
He's
not
really-
been here for this 2-week character.
Well, he's only been
But I
here.
did get a lot of love last week, to be honest. Some people said I'm turning this off, but I suppose technically he would have come out after the mid-roll lad, so we're absolutely fine now.
Oh no, I think we'd have got on with the chocolate stuff.
Yeah, fair.
He popped in. He's a weird guy.
He is, yeah. I saw
a-
some footage of him, yeah.
He had another riddle for us.
Oh, go on.
It was what kind of room doesn't have a door or a window?
Mushroom. Obvious, really.
See, he'd love you. You'll have to meet.
I'll try and, next time, if there is one, I'll try and sort that out as soon as, it always seems to be whenever Roderick Strong's booked on Dynamite.
It almost feels like we're kind of threatening them and like daring them to book him again.
Yeah.
It's like we're playing.
And this is
chicken with
nothing
them
against,
at
we
this point.
like Roderick Strong, by the way.
Love him. He's amazing. Yeah.
Hey,
But
imagine
it's-
if Roderick Strong made Odrick Strong, eh? Who can make that happen?
that would be like a Wale Mania meeting for the ages, wouldn't it? Like you
Get the giraffe head. He's over there.
backpack with all the stuff in.
Go to take a selfie picture and move the camera away again.
Anyway,
I heard you talking about that. It's a great picture.
It's a good picture.
You
isn't
took
Yeah.
it like on selfie mode with you not in the picture.
yes.
So I know I initially had it with me in the picture and then realised there was no value in a picture of me and Stax and Wilbourn. The real money was Stax and Wilbourn.
Yeah.
So I just swerved the camera at the last second.
He just big timed him. I don't care about getting a
Like,
picture
what would
of
you do if someone at the live show came to take a picture with you and then moved themselves out of the camera? What's that about?
It's a strange experience, but people are very welcome to if they buy a ticket at whatculture.com/tickets at any of our dates on the What Culture World Tour. There'll be opportunities to take pictures, there'll be Q&As, there'll be fantasy booking conversations, basically any conversation you want before, during, or after the live show you'll be able to have with us because we're going to be there all night long. We're going to be wherever WWE is in town, in Manchester, Belfast, Glasgow and London. We're going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada for the biggest and best SmackDown watch-along in all of Las Vegas with a pre-show and a post-show at the HyperX Arena deep inside the beautiful Luxor Hotel and Casino. It's all happening. All the dates are available along with the ticket information at whatculture.com/tickets. We cannot wait.
Yeah, really, really excited for that. And who knows who else could appear? Maybe we get this Odrick Strong fella along, possibly.
Yeah, I would really, really like to see that. But
Quite hot in Las Vegas, isn't it?
I mean, it is. And based on feedback, I don't know if it's a good strategy for selling tickets.
Okay.
We'll kind of have to, the jury's out on that one.
Yeah.
So we'll get Sax along.
Dax will be there.
Yeah. I would love Odrick
Stand and
Strong.
deliver weekend, isn't it? So
He'll be busy. I would love Roderick Strong to work all the dates, but especially Las Vegas. Yeah, I would get a lot out of that. I've got to be honest.
What's the jurisdiction of the Collision Cops? Where do they live?
yeah, I mean, if Stax is going to be there, I feel like the Collision Cops have to be there as well.
I feel like that
Well-
seems like a good idea in terms of,
I know,
giving
and I
people
think
what they want.
one of the Collision Cops can't work Las Vegas. I think he's not allowed to work there.
That's not his
Somewhere.
jurisdiction.
Yeah,
So it's a collision cop
yeah.
with the collision cop that doesn't necessarily kind of lead the collision cop conversation.
Yeah.
I mean,
WhatCulture.com/tickets.
him meeting Roderick Strong, what does that look like? How can that possibly work?
Do you want to see it? Buy a ticket.
That's what everybody says. You want to see it, buy a ticket.
That's what I say,
that's
along with
right.
my other catchphrase. What culture is now in your city? Anyway, let us know your thoughts on Dynamite tonight. Let us know your thoughts in the comments or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch, they can follow all four of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
You can follow our producer Adam Nicholas at.
It's Adam Nicholas.
You can follow this new character, I believe, at Roderick Trong.
Yeah.
And you can follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. Make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. We'll be back later on today to review a brilliant episode of NXT. Really excited to see what a real wrestling show looks like from the Andrew J. The
Andrew Nudie Centre.
Doing so well. Andrew J. Brady.
Full nudity on last night's NXT. Tune in to the review here more.
Yeah, check us out on that one. But for now, this has been the Dynamite Preview. My thanks to Hamflett, to Nicholas, to Strong. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you soon.